Hey y'all, my name's Angela and welcome back to my channel. This is my FlossTube and it is Angela Loves to Stitch because I like to stitch and because I couldn't really think of another creative name. And so basically it sums it up. Angela loves to stitch all kinds of things. Mostly cross stitch, and I dabble in some English paper piecing and some like felt kit stocking making and beading and whatever else comes along that I'm like, ooh, that looks good, I want to try it. It just seems to be me. I am not one that can stick to one project. I'm definitely not a monogamous stitcher. I get bored really easily and it comes out in all the projects that I have going on. I probably have like over 100 whips for sure of things. I was watching some whip parades recently and I was like, I have so much and I'm so lucky that I do. I will never ever get bored. I don't know what people do if they don't have a hobby or like a craft like cross stitch or quilting or crocheting or whatever. I don't know what they would do. Or any kind of hobby, no matter what it is, because I would be so bored. I would be so bored. Okay, so what I've done the past month, it was arbitrary August. Oh, and by the way, today is the last day of August. I cannot believe it's going to be September already. I burned my first fall candle today. It was pumpkin spice latte. I wanted a coffee candle and my mom and I went to Bath and Body Works yesterday and I got one because they were on sale, and I have so many candles, y'all. It's another thing that I love, but I burned it this morning, my pumpkin spice latte, because it was a little bit colder, not cold. It was a little bit cooler this morning. Last night, I think I had like a cold front come through, and I don't know if it was like associated with the hurricane. Oh, and by the way, if you're in the path of the recent hurricane, I don't even know how to pronounce the name of the hurricane, Adela or something like that. I don't even know. Anyway, the one that was supposed to hit Florida went up through Georgia and then I think South Carolina. If you were in the path of that and were affected in any way, I'm so sorry. I was watching it on the Weather Channel like all night long one night just to see where that thing was heading. And my dad lives in the panhandle of Florida, so I was concerned about his well-being, but it missed them and I don't actually know where it ended up going. But yeah, we didn't get any here in Northwest Georgia. We did not get any of those side effects, but maybe this cool front or whatever that came through. But it's less humid and there was a breeze last night and I went outside and I was like, ooh, I'm cold. I'm a little chilly. So it was like that this morning again, and that's why I decided to burn one of my heavier scents. Anyway, that's enough talk about weather and candles. Let's talk about cross stitch. Arbitrary August was what was going on. So the first 2 weeks of August, I decided to start smaller projects like ornaments. I helped. I'm sorry, I cannot talk. I can't talk right now. Let me think. Where am I going? I asked on Instagram and here on YouTube if you would help me pick one. And so each week you picked one. I did like a little vote thing on Instagram and then I put it just down in the video, and people commented on here on FlossTube. So I did that for the first 2 weeks, and then the third week what did I do? I guess I did the same thing. And then I did one where I'd already started it and pick one that I could continue working on. I did that for like up until the middle of August, I guess. But then I started, because arbitrary to me means kind of random, out of the ordinary. I don't know if that's really what it means, but that's what I'm saying it means. And that's kind of where I was going for this whole month. So I decided that I was going to do some challenges. I've never really done any of the acrostic challenges. And so I did do 2. One is from the 24 hours of cross stitch. It's the acrostic challenge for August there. And then also the other one is from the magazine monthly challenge group. So I did both of them. I completed both of them. It's the end of the month. Now my goal for each letter was not very hard. It was work an hour on each letter. So that was pretty easy, because it also gave me time to work on some other things. And if I wanted to work, wanted to work longer, like another hour on a project, because I was really enjoying it, then I just kind of tried to work it in again. I wanted another letter or on the different challenge, because I had 2 challenges going on. Okay, so I'm gonna probably go over both of these, because there's 2 sheets here that are filled out, and kind of just tell you what I did, because I really did not work on, I did work on one other thing, which I will show you. I will show you those kind of at the end after I go through all this stuff. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pause the camera, and this is another reason why I want to do like daily clips instead of one clip all the time, because I have to like go dig this stuff out, and I'm going to have to hunt for it. So I'm going to be piecing this video together while I go hunt for each project, because I put them up instead of saving them in like a pile. And I'm just going to go through them one at a time as I get to the letter. This isn't necessarily, and I keep looking down, I'm sorry, at these sheets. This is not necessarily the order that I did them in. I'm just going to go by the letter. But I did work on them the past 2 weeks. So the acrostic word for on one of the challenges was spontaneous, which is a long word. And then the other word for the magazine monthly challenge one was roots. And also there's a theme of forest. So spontaneous has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 letters. So that's 11 hours. Is that right? Okay. And then the other one has 6 hours of work on them. No, 7. I'll get to that in a second. All right, let me just move on. Because the more I talk, the more I'm actually really confusing myself. Okay, so I will be right back with the first project that I worked on. All right, so the first one that I'm going to talk about is a Bucilla stocking kit. It's a felt kit, and I decided I wanted to try these, and kind of, like I said in my last video, kind of fell down the rabbit hole on that one and ordered several different ones. But the way I am is I work on something gung-ho for a couple, like a week, and then I'm like, I'm done. So I need to keep working on this because it looks really good. So this is what it is. So this is Bucilla Christmas in Wonderland. It is the Alice in Wonderland themed stocking with done all in felt. And this project, or this is where, I may have shown this in the last video, that's where I got to on this one. I don't think, I may have shown it in the last video, but I don't think I've worked on it any more than that. And I got her hair on, well, actually it's pinned on there, but I don't think I've actually finished, what's it called? Appliquing it. And this one I used for the S in Spontaneous, one of the S's in Spontaneous, for stocking, and then also the S in Roots is stocking as well. So I kind of used, I double dipped, is that what they call it? Double dipped. So that is the Christmas in Wonderland. Isn't it cute? All right, the next project that I worked on is this pumpkin and pine cones scissor fob that I'm actually gonna just use as an ornament probably when I finish it. I did not finish it. This is one of the projects that people helped me choose by voting on it. And I used this one for the P in Spontaneous because it's pumpkin and pine cones that start with P. And I also used it for one of the O's in the words roots. That's in the other challenge because it's going to be an ornament. And this is where I got to. That's all. I haven't really worked anymore. I'm really kind of close to finishing the peyote bead part. I think I'm at the point where I start like reducing the beads, and then the next thing I'm doing is gonna have to do the fringe underneath it right here. So that is yeah, I think that's it. Pumpkin and can't talk. Pumpkin and pine, pumpkin and pine cones. Ugh. Okay, the next project that I worked on is Oh Holy Night, another Bucilla stocking. And I showed this in my last video because this is the stocking that I was going to start working on for my mom because she doesn't have a stocking that we hang up here at our house. And so I thought, I know, I'm gonna make her a stocking. So Oh Holy Night is, I use this for the O in Spontaneous and also an O in Roots. And this is where I got to on that. So this is basically, this is just the top part of the stocking here. And I have to like sew on this bottom part. And this part looks like uneven right here. And I kept looking at it and I was like, why did that look crooked? I lined it all up and everything, but I think the way the stocking hangs, it's lean, I don't know, it hangs differently. So I guess it'll look good. If not, it'll just look like the leaning church. It'll look like a leaning church. So I use that on both the acrostics too. So I worked for a couple of hours on it. I think, did I use it for anything else? Well, if I did, then it'll show up here like later on. Okay, I'll be right back for the next project. I was really thinking that I should have before and after pictures of these. And I did take them for the challenges, so I may go back and insert them somehow. I don't know. But the next project to talk about is the Nativity Trilogy. I'm sorry about all the reflection on here. This is Baby Jesus, and this is from Mill Hill, and I guess it's an ornament. I'm treating it as an ornament. And this is one of the other ones that I asked for y'all to help me vote by voting on it. And I use this for the N in the word spontaneous, and also the T in roots. And I use for, because it's a trilogy. So I used it in 2 challenges, and this is where I got to on it. So before I started, I really just had the baby Jesus completed. So I did a lot of the cow here, and I did put beads on this. I didn't realize I'd already put beads on there, but well, you can't even tell. There's no other beads added, and it took me, you know, a good 2 hours to do this, but didn't, of course, complete it because I ran out of time. So that is the Nativity Trilogy from Mill Hill. And I'm not even gonna put a picture because it was just baby Jesus before. I did most of the cow. All right, which one? Oh, okay, this is a little bit different. I'll be right back. Okay, so the next project, I'm just filming this way because it is my quilt top, my paper that I'm putting together by paper piecing, and I used it for the T for and spun the word spontaneous, and it's because it's by Tula Pink, and I just have it hanging up here just to kind of keep it in order, and I haven't even taken it down. So I just sewed some of this stuff together, and I am working on it, but I think the pieces that I worked on aren't even actually hanging up here. I think they're in this like notebook right down there. See that black and white notebook? I have it all organized, and I just have the little hexagons in there, and pull it out and sew a couple together, and then, or how long I'm doing it. But I had actually like glue the fabric pieces onto the paper piece, and so it was kind of time consuming. So this is the T in spontaneous, and again I'm working an hour on each letter. All right, so this next project that I worked on, I used for the A in spontaneous, and it is Afghan, and it's my rainforest Afghan. And I believe this is an out of print design, but I loved it because of all the different creatures on it. But I only used this one time in the word spontaneous, and then the other challenge, it was the one that I chose for the theme, which is forest, rainforest, Afghan. And my goal was to work on 7 hours out of the 2 weeks, and I only worked on it for 2. So I didn't meet that goal, but oh well. And let me just show you, this is a very big Afghan, and I'm only in the very first square here. So what I did is I worked on just some more of this flower over here. It's time consuming. So I used one of those hours to count as the theme goal, and I used the other hour to be on the A in the word spontaneous. So I really just worked 2 hours, and like I really only got in 2 hours. I swear I only got like this much done. I don't know why it took me so long. I actually do know why it takes me so long. It's because it uses 3 strands of floss, and then it was solid stitching, and it was kind of like full coverage right there. I don't know if I'll ever finish this. It's big, and those blocks take a lot longer than I thought they were gonna take. So anyway, you know what? But at least I got it out and worked on it, because otherwise I probably wouldn't have. So I'm really liking the challenges. I really am. Let me see, what's next? Okay. All right, the next project I worked on is another Priscilla kit. Y'all are probably like, what? Yeah, I told you that also this month I was like, I'm gonna work on some other things because I was getting burnt out on cross stitching. And so this has actually really helped me to get burnt out. So it really has, working on all these different things just for an hour a day. So this one I used for the N, and that's numbers, because I ordered this from Amazon. It is an Advent calendar. It is so overwhelming, but it has numbers on it. So that's what I used for the N. Is there just one? No, there's two N's, but I only used it for one. And the word spontaneous, and this is all I've done. All I've done is, I haven't even finished. My first thing was just to embroider these outlines of the bricks, and I haven't even finished that. So that will also be another big long time project for me. Okay, on to the next thing. All right, so in the word spontaneous, there's an E, and I worked on English Garden Welcome, which is a Teresa Winsler. It's like a kit that I ordered off of eBay. So there is the project, and where I am is right there. The hanging threads are because this is like a full coverage scene in the middle, and that's what I just worked on, is just some of this here in the middle. I think I maybe did like 100 stitches, but I only worked on it for an hour, and then I was done. And I always take this project out and I smell it because it smells like soap, because I put that fray check on there, and I swear that fray check smells like soap or something. Who agrees with me? Who uses fray check on their edges and you think it makes your project smell like clean? I'm weird, I guess. So I use that for the E in spontaneous, and that's it. English Garden Welcome by Teresa Winsler. It'll be pretty someday. It's a little frustrating, because it's got so many excuse me for leaning over. There's apparently beads in it too, because they just fell out of the project. I didn't know there were beads in it. It uses so many blends. There's another Teresa Winsler that I had started, and it had like 90 blends. I'm not kidding you, 90 plus. I don't even know if I'm gonna even attempt to do that one. Honestly, I don't know, because this one doesn't have near as many as that, and it already is overwhelming to me. Excuse me. I just got really dry cotton mouth. Okay, on to the next one. All right, this next project is actually one that I was excited to work on, because I think it's beautiful, but also, and I haven't worked on it in a while, but I'm also going to be working on it this next month, and you'll find out why in a little bit. But I worked on, is it Yvonne Leclerc? I don't know. 1905 by Reflet de Soie. I feel like I'm just like blah, 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 blah when I try to say all this stuff. I'm not good at French. I guess this is French. I don't even know what language this is. Is that so bad? Yeah. Anyway, a beautiful, like amazing border, right? So I used this one for the 1 hour. I used it for the O in spontaneous, because I used one strand of floss instead of 2 or 3 like I have been. And then I used it also for the R in roots, and because it's Reflet de soie. So I worked 2 hours on it, I guess. Or maybe I worked 2 hours, and maybe I feel like I worked more than just 1 hour on this, but I don't really remember. And that's all, that's where I'm at. Which doesn't look as beautiful as the picture does, but I think it's pretty. I'm trying to figure out, like, when I look at that picture and I look at this, I feel like some of the pinks are just not as bright as in that picture. So I tried to like use some brighter pinks, and they're still not, like, the flower seems brighter in the picture than it does on this. It's still really pretty though. Can you imagine when the whole, I mean, like this whole, I mean, listen, this is only 3 flowers in this border, and there's like 7 in this top border and all along. So it's gonna be, it's so pretty. So I am going to be bringing this out next month with the challenge that I'm doing. And I'll talk about that later. So, and I'm not gonna, I can put this up now because, I mean, it's a sampler, and it has something to do with samplers because it'll be sampler September. Okay. Ooh, okay. I'm excited because I get to show you the next thing, which is a new start. Okay, so I forgot to tell you that is, I've now completed the Roots, the August magazine monthly challenge. Okay, so that's completed now. And then so I've got 2 more letters to go on the word spontaneous for the 24 hours of cross stitch acrostic. So the letter U is the second to last letter in the word spontaneous, and I decided to start this one by Bella Filipina. It is Urduja. I don't know how to say it, and I'll always say I don't know how to say it because I don't, but it is a beautiful, like, golden mermaid is what I call it, with some color. So the amount of beads in this thing is crazy. It's a lot. It's a lot of, I think I showed it. I'm pretty sure I showed you on another video, but all of this, sorry for the crinklies, all these different treasure braids. The pattern calls for Krynick, but then also converts it to treasure braid. And then the most exciting to me are all these Delica beads. Look at all those. These are Delica beads because it was converted by Under the Sea Fabrics. What is her name? Leslie? She converted the Mill Hill beads to Delica beads and offered them up, and I ordered the Delicas because why not? Why not? And I mean, just amazing. And I've only put a few beads in, but I decided to put this on a scroll frame so I could do the beading as I went along. Let me try to figure out where I'm at. Okay, I think it goes down like this. I'm straightening up the, and you're not gonna be able to see the shine or the treasure braid in this because no video captures it. But, I mean, you might can kind of see a little bit. So, I might have to stand up. So there is where I'm at, okay? So I've only just started on her like tail. It was like the most uninteresting part of the whole like thing. And so I'm just like, you know, there's beads here. This shiny part right here is all like the treasure braid. And the only beads that I put in are just right here. So not that many yet, but it's gonna be so beautiful. And I love this fabric that I mean, look from back, But I love this fabric, and I love that I put it on this scroll rod so I can, you know, bead as I go. And like, this is like the area that I'm in, like, just like right there. Right there. So I start in the middle. So I've got all that tail to do. And I can actually see on that fabric, although it's dark, I can actually see. I started a project last week. I decided I want to try something on black fabric, and I tried it and I just could not see the holes. I mean, I tried and tried, and I was like, I can't do it. I can't do this. This is too hard. It's too hard. So anyway, I just gave up on that, but I'm so glad that I can see. Sorry, got washed out there on this. So I was excited to start on that, and I did work on that for much more than an hour, but I only counted it, you know, as an hour because I'd already done, I guess, pretty much everything else. So that is Urduja from Bella Filipina. And we just have one more project to go. I mean, yeah, one more to go. And so I will be right back with that. All right, so the last project, and the word spontaneous, so the letter is S, and I did this one. I didn't finish it, but I called it a satin ball ornament because, you know, for lack of another name, it is a satin ball, and it is an ornament. So this is where I got to after working for, I had originally, I just had like one side done, and so I matched the other side, and I did the front and down here, and then I stopped. I got to a stopping point after an hour, and where I was where I had to string these beads, these little beads, and like put them around here, and I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm just going to do, the only thing I'm doing, I'm not doing the little stringing of the beads because honestly, they'll probably fall off anyway. And I'm just pushing the stuff in. I want to make it easy. So what I'll have to do is I have to do this side, which is basically going to be exactly like this. And then the stuff hanging down from it. So, you know, it would be pretty hanging on a tree. I mean, it would catch the light and stuff, I guess. Whee. Okay. So that is satin ball. That covered the S of spontaneous, and I'm done with the August acrostic challenge. Yay me. So I actually really enjoyed that. Hold on. Actually really enjoyed that so much, which I didn't really think that I would, just because an hour is not very long. And I still have time to do other things if I want to. I enjoyed it so much that I decided to do another challenge. But this one is different. And it is from the Magazine Monthly Challenge. I'm gonna go back. Doing both of those at the same time, I don't know if I'll do two again. I guess it just depends on how long, because spontaneous was such a long word. If they're both shorter words, then maybe I would. But okay, so in the Magazine Monthly Challenge group, or what's it called? Magazine Monthly group? Magazine Monthly Challenge group? I don't know. It's the one that Carolyn Zook is an admin for, or she created it or something. So they have something called AB Singo, which I've never done before. And I think tonight, what time did she say? There's a certain time the day before, she calls a letter. And anyway, what I did is I took the alphabet. There's 25 squares, and every year they do this, they leave out a letter. And this year's letter, they left out the letter T. And so I don't have it, there's no T, but use all the other letters, and then I just like mixed them up so they're not like, you know, like this first row says A-N-G-E, I was trying to spell my name, A-N-G-E-L, and then I just plugged in all the rest of the alphabet in different ways that my mind was thinking. And so I mixed up the alphabet, and then they call it a letter, and whatever letter is chosen, that's what you do. And you have, I think you work an hour. It's like an hour on each project, or 100 stitches, and you can mark that off. And so it only lasts for so there's 25 spots, but it's over on the 30th of September. So you have 5 extra days to play catch up or whatever. And so what I did is I spent one night when I was just too tired to stitch or anything, but I just went through and picked out my projects that went with each letter. And I'm really not going to go over theirs right now, but what I will tell you is that all of my projects are either, because it's September, they're either spooky or samplers. I was trying to fit with a theme. So really, they're either a sampler type project. Some of them, I don't know, and I would say there's either 7 or 8 projects total. I have them on here multiple times. Each project is on here at least twice, 3 times, and sometimes 4. But they're either Halloween or a sampler. And that Yvonne Leclerc, whatever, the one that I showed you with the beautiful border, that is one of the samplers I have on here. And it's on here like 3 or 4 times. So it'll be called 3 or 4 times in the month of September. So I'm at least going to get another 4 hours of work on it in September, which will be great, you know. And then if I'm just enjoying it and don't want to go into anything else, I can work on it more. So I'm only going to count if I want to work on it longer, like if I'm working on it and really enjoying it and don't want to put it up, like say tomorrow it's called and I love it and I work on it for 2 hours instead of 1. I'm only going to count that 1 hour because I want it to be called, I'm not going to count it for 2 of the spaces because then it'll just screw everything up. So I'll just count 1 hour and then just count the other as like, yay, you got some work, even more work done on it. And then they also have the Magazine Monthly Challenge for September is the word cactus, and the theme is desert, but I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I might. But I usually don't really pick those ahead of time. I just kind of like look and see what projects I have that I might want to work on. Since cactus has 6 letters, I might do those on those 5 extra days. I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, and also when you pick your letters for the ABC Singo, you know, like for instance, you know, the letter kind of has to go with the project that you're working on. So for instance, the letter A, I picked a sampler called And They Send because it starts with an A, the letter and. You get it? Anyway, and some of these I really got super creative with. I mean, well, I'm not super creative. Some of them I was just like, I wasn't even gonna try. I was like, this is a sampler and it has a letter in it, so I'm gonna use it for that one. But like for the letter I could not think of anything with an I that fit any of the projects that I was looking at doing. And so I finally put that Refleta Soie one in the I letter, or assigned it to the I letter. And why is it I? Because it has an impressive border. Impressive border. impressive starts with an I, and so therefore it's an I. I mean, that's the kind of thing that you're supposed to do, I guess. If it's not, then that's the way I'm doing it. And it'll be good. I mean, it's not like I'm getting graded on it or anything, or it's not like it's my job. Anyway, okay, so one more thing. I did start there's something I worked on yesterday, this because I finished this a couple days ago, my challenges, and so I had like some extra days of just doing like whatever I wanted to do. And so I have a couple of projects that I want to show you, but before I show you, I'm going to try to print out the cover photo for one of them so you can see it. And the other one, yeah, I'll try to do that. We'll see. I might need to use my phone for that. So I will be right back with those. Okay, like I said, I had some extra time to work on some other things. And yesterday morning, I woke up and I was looking at Instagram, which can be dangerous, right? So I was watching that Adam Hart cross stitch. The ones she makes those floss drops that I've showed before. Adam Hart, is that her name? I don't know her name. But she was showing how she was working on a plastic canvas kit. It was a cute, like, haunted house that she ordered off of, I think, Mary Maxim or something. And I was like, you know what? I have some of those plastic type kits. I ordered them a couple of years ago off of eBay, really, really cheap. And I didn't do them because they were actually a lot harder than what I thought they would be. So guess what? I didn't throw those out. They're up in top of our closet, like our linen closet. All the stuff that I don't want to ever see. I don't want to throw away, but I don't really want it around me. I shove up in the top of this closet. And so that's what I worked on yesterday because I knew I had to take my mom to the eye doctor out of town. And then we were going to be running some errands and doing a little bit of shopping. I knew I wasn't really going to have much time to do any kind of stitching or anything. So I pulled one of these out. And this is from Bucilla. It's I don't know if it tells, it's from 1991. So yeah, it's pretty old, I guess. And these are little like candy baskets that are gingerbread. And so I decided that I was going to start working on a church. And so I think I started working on this church right here. I don't know if I'll finish it. But this is what I did yesterday morning before I had to like get ready to go. These are just the sides. And then you like, oh, I did this wrong. I already figured out that I already did this way wrong. I did it too like big. And so like this is supposed to stick on this. And I was like, that's gonna like be so top heavy that's gonna like topple over the steeple. Anyway, it's kind of hard. Cross stitching is so much easier than this. I mean, as far as like the directions and what to do. I mean, as far as the whole stitching part goes, something in this yarn just went up my nose. Anyway, I don't know if I'll continue to do that anymore. And I actually have two other kits that are like a needle, like one's like a needle point from Bucilla, and the other is another one of these plastic canvas kits. And I don't know if I like it that much the only reason I would do it is like if I have grandkids someday that they could like play with it. It's not because I want to sit it out and decorate with it or hang it on my wall or anything. That would be the only, I mean, it would be like the stockings, you know, I would just hang those out at Christmas. So these would be things I would just stick out and be like, oh, look at Grandma's candy dishes made out of plastic canvas. and then I wouldn't be afraid they'd be broken. Okay, whatever. So that's what I worked on yesterday. And then another thing that I started is over in the corner, so I'll have to go get that. So I was looking for one of the other projects that I was going to be doing on this acrostics, and I opened up a bag and I found a project in it, and I was like, what is this project? I don't even remember what this project is. I don't. So I was like, okay, well, I've started it, and there's thread, there's floss in here, like I gathered all the colors, but so I must have worked on it for like 10 minutes and then like put it away for a month or something or longer. So I went back through Dropbox and on my pattern keeper thing to just see what project would this be. And I found it, and this was what it was. It was from Hands Across the Sea samplers. It was the 2023 Queen of the May, Maria Ewan. I guess that's how you say her last name. I don't know. There it is. How would you say that? Ewan? Ewan? I don't know. So this is the project. And all I had done is just a tad little bitty bit of the border here. And I was like, okay, well, I actually really like that sampler. I like this scene down here. I like the flowers along the edges. And then the verse in the middle is, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. The Lord's Prayer. I'm like, what is that called? Okay, so I'm like, okay, I like that too. And on the bottom it says Maria Ewan. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. Her work aged 11 years. It's got like I think a deer and a dog. Is that a deer and a dog? And flowers and a bird, a couple birds, and like some strawberries under the pot. So I worked on this, and I have just done the border down this across and down one side, and I'm working on the other side. I wanted just to get this part of the border done and then go back and add all the little doodads on the border as I want to. But once I get this part done on the border, then everything else just goes in the middle, right? So the reason this is so wrinkly is that I am doing this in hand because I wanted to try to do like a project in hand. I thought maybe I could take it with me. The only thing is that like it'll be easy like to work on at night because I can just take it and like a couple of the floss down or my tablet, but not having to deal with like the light stand and a Q-snap and a Lowry stand. If I could just have my lighted magnifier glasses on, and then this that's like clipped with a pin or with a, what's it called? What are these called? Clothespins. So anyway, I was kind of excited and then I had the floss that was already gathered, and I don't know if I can't even remember if I like bought it or if I just picked it out of what I already had. I don't know. And I don't even know what the name of this fabric is either. It's like I hope it goes okay with the project. So that is the Queen of the May, and I'm excited about that. And then the last thing that I have to show you is a project that I actually started this morning, and I worked on it an hour, maybe just a little bit over an hour. And I'm gonna try to work on it every day for a little bit, I think. I say that. I'm going to try to work on it some this month with all the other things that I'm going. But remember, those are just for an hour, so I could work on those and do this. It's fine. But let me just show you what that last thing that I worked on for the month of August is. Okay, so I was on last night. I was on the Heaven and Earth, or I got on Facebook, and then something popped up from Heaven and Earth Designs, and they are having a sale. And there's, I don't know, and so I was like, I do not need another pattern. I have so many patterns from Heaven and Earth Designs that I haven't even done. But then I saw someone's post of a project that they are working on. And I don't know who it was. I can't remember their name, because I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people in the group, but I loved the picture. I loved it. And actually the post was something about different ways, different methods of cross stitching, and like just try different methods on one project. It's okay. And I do that. I've done that before. But the name, so anyway, I'll just show you what I chose, because I was like, I've got to have that. And it's on sale, it's half off. Excuse me. So the name of this pattern is called The Mountain Cabin, and it's by Dominic Davison. I'm sure that you've seen this before, but let me just turn this so I can get it bigger. I just thought this was the prettiest like scene. I don't know, it was just something about it was just so like, I don't know, relaxing to me, I guess. And maybe it's, oops. Maybe it's because it's like so hot outside, and it just seems like so like the air just seems like it would be so clean. I don't know. And then like the whole like reflection on the water, and I'm sorry you're seeing a reflection of my blinds, but I just thought it was really pretty. I kind of don't wish that truck was there, but whatever. I really don't know how I'd take it out. And look, you zoom in, you can see some people in the cabin. I wonder what they're doing. Maybe they're playing a game. I don't know. Anyway, I just thought that this picture was so pretty. I think what I also just love about it is I love sunsets. I love sunsets. I love the lake. I love flowers, and it has like it has all those things, you know, beautiful sunset, some flowers. And I just love the way that reflection of the cabin is off the lake. Anyway, so I started it, and that's what I've done. Yep, that's like an hour's worth. So what I did, really, where I'm working is like right up here in this tip top little corner right here. Right there. Because I've got a little bit of the tree in there, you see? So that's where I'm at. I only got like, I don't know how many stitches this said it was. How many stitches is this? I've done 397 stitches, and I did those all today because it was all really basically one color. And I'm doing tent stitch, so it's so much faster because it's on 28 count. So I only, you know, I've got, the total is like 375,000. So what, how many do I have to go? The total is 375,550. So I only have 375,000, like 100 to go. I am 0.11% complete. Yeah. Anyway. And that's that. Do y'all think that's pretty? It was really pretty completed. So I started searching it in the group. You know how you can go back at the top of, you can go at the top of the, like in the Heaven and Earth Designs group, and then you can search by just typing in a word, and it will show you everyone who's comment or posted something about that. And so there's like a lot of different people who have done this project. And so I wanted to do it too. It's pretty. Okay, so that's it. That's it for me. I've told you about what I'm gonna be doing with my ABC-Ngo, and I'm really proud that I completed both of those acrostic challenges in 2 weeks, because I did not start until the 15th of August. So a little over 2 weeks, and got those all completed, and looking forward to the month of September and the samplers and scaries that I have to go. All right, so I've got one more thing to talk about. I will be back in just a second to talk about that. So stay with me for just a little bit longer. All right, y'all, so the last thing I want to do is announce the winner for the giveaway I did like 2 months ago, and I kept putting it off, but it was for this Let Love Reign book from Teresa Kogut. It has, let me see. It's there's 3 patterns in here, this one, and then this one, and this one. And so the winner of that is One Stitch at a Time, Tara. And I have already found you on Instagram. And so just be looking out for a message from me to let you know that you won. And so congratulations, and thank you for watching my video. Also, I saw that Tara, I guess is her name, has a YouTube or FlossTube channel as well. So go check her channel out. It's One Stitch at a Time, Tara, T-A-R-A. And she has, I think she's been making videos for about a year. So I look forward to catching up on those and seeing all the beautiful things that I'm sure that you have stitched. And thank you so much for watching, and everyone, thank you for watching. Everyone, thank you for watching and commenting, and not just when I have a random giveaway, but those of you that comment like on almost every video that I do. I really, really appreciate it. I am not a very big channel in the scope of things. I don't, I don't have a lot of views. I mean, a ton of views on my videos, and I don't have, a ton of comments, but I sure do appreciate everyone that does watch and does comment, and not only that, will send me messages on Instagram, especially my friend Jan Holder, who is awesome, and I just wanted to give her a shout out, and everyone needs to just go on her Instagram and like tell her that she needs to start a YouTube channel, because I know she hasn't, and I think that she really needs to. I really would like to see your face. And I know that you make and stitch beautiful projects as well. So do your first YouTube. And I really appreciate that if you would do it for me. All right, y'all, I am rambling now, and I need to go do some stuff. So I'm sure this video, like the last one, will be completely washed out because something is going on with my camera. I cannot figure out the lighting. I have my blinds closed, but still for some reason it gets washed out. So sorry, I don't know how to make it better. So just listen to my voice. All right, y'all. I hope you have a great Labor Day. If you're in the States, the Labor Day weekend is coming up, and some of you will have, I guess, the day off on Monday, and maybe you can get some stitching in if you're not, doing other things. So have a great weekend, and I will see you probably in a couple of weeks. All right, y'all. Bye.